previously on PubTalkTV.
It might be me.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Monica,
This is very typical for previously on PubTalkTV.
sorry. Let's try that.
I made faces.
Yeah.
See, this is live show. That's exactly what happens during a live show. If this was SNL, everybody would be loving that we're cracking and breaking character. Let's go from the top. What do you say, ladies?
I went to like 4 different tabs and I couldn't find the right one. Damn it. Blooper reel.
Previously on PubTalkTV.
Monica made faces.
Whoa! Jessica had some real talk.
If you're someone who frightens us, that's bad.
And Rosie dispensed invaluable advice.
Right? Real good.
Yep. Since our last episode, we had the holidays and New Year's and dozens of other things have happened, but we are back with you again today to answer some of your questions.
PubTalkTV is television for publishing and part of our ongoing effort to show you that agents and writers are, of course, human.
Tonight will be a conference panel meets publishing happy hour on air. Cheers.
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 Cheers!
We've had several questions sent in since our last episode. Good job, everyone.
Yay.
Yay!
You can submit your questions live at the hashtag AskPubTalkTV.
You can also join the ongoing Twitter party hosted by the lovely Veronica Bartles at hashtag PubTalkTV.
Just so you know, tonight's show will probably be PG-13 because there will be some imbibing.
And definitely lots of swearing.
I already swore about 10 seconds into it, so I'd say we're on a roll.
Yay.
Hooray!
All right, let's introduce everybody for the night. I'm Summer Heacock, or Fizzy Girl on Twitter. You can find me at FizzyGRRL on Twitter or at my blog, fizzygirl.com. And if you want to send questions to us tonight, go to AskPubTalkTV hashtag, and Kelsey and I will be looking them up. I am a writer, I'm a strange person, and that's really all I got.
So I'm also a writer and strange person. My name is Kelsey Mackey, and I am a young adult author. My novel is Damsel Distressed, and it came out in October with its own companion album. So that's kind of cool, and I'm really excited to be here. Summer and I are both really excited to sort of bring the writer's voice to this conversation, and we're really excited to be guiding our lovely agents through tonight's questions. Lovely agents, before we continue, we are just going to have you introduce yourselves one more time for us. If we could start with Jessica, and we can just go ahead and talk about who you are, where you're from, and even what you are drinking.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica Sinsheimer with the Sarah Jane Fryman Literary Agency. I am at jsinsheim on the Twitter. I am trying to drink. I can't open the flask. I don't know. But I've also got, so there's gin in here, and this is elderflower soda. So I figure if I do open this, the two will go nicely together.
Very nice. Very nice.
And while we're in there, why don't we go ahead and hear from Rosie?
Hi, my name is Roseanne Wells. I am with the Jennifer D. Chiara Literary Agency, and you can find me on Twitter at Riveting Rosie. And tonight I am drinking a glass of red wine that came with a screw top because I'm very bad at opening wine bottles.
You come prepared.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Keeping it classy.
Yep.
Twist off some more economically friendly, environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
They're better, because cork is bad for the environment. Although if you
And
recycle your cork, it's okay to make corkboard.
Wine.
Yes.
Anyway. My name is Monica Odom, and I'm with the Liza Dawson Associates Literary Agency. You can find me on Twitter at Modem Odom, palindrome, easy to spell. And I am drinking red wine. It's called Bread and Butter. It's a Pinot Noir.
Ooh.
2013, according to the bottle. A good year.
A very good A lovely vintage. I do, because I happen to be drinking something of interest tonight, I just wanted to say that I'm drinking Bullet, and I love it. And Rosie and I were talking before we started about how Bullet is apparently very fashionable, so I feel very cool for accidentally buying popular booze. Summer, are you drinking anything of interest tonight?
Sponsored by Bullet in the future.
Absolutely drinking a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Brand. It's an excellent vintage, y'all. I think it was made in 2014.
Wow.
It goes down smooth.
I bet it does. I bet it does. So I guess
bet
we
it's
should
real
go ahead and kick things off with our first question. We are going to try and wrap up right on time tonight because, as you probably know, if you pay attention to life, there is an address from the President of the United States of America in just 54 minutes. So we're going to try and finish up on time. So let's go ahead and look at the very first question for the evening. This one says, I'm in a dilemma. This is from KK. Caitlin Mitchell. I'm in a dilemma. I customize every query I send out, but copy and paste the letters from Word. Now on my Mail app on a Mac, the formatting appears with paragraph spaces, and 5 queries out, I log into Gmail only to realize, to my horror, that the emails that were perfectly formatted are really just big blocks of text. So, of the queries that I have that haven't been responded to, should I follow up and say, oh my gosh, my formatting's messed up, or should you just let it go? Is this a deal breaker?
Not a deal breaker.
It's not a deal breaker at all. Actually, Jessica was the one that initially told me about the really wonky formatting that Word translated into Google creates. And so what I would personally recommend is that you paste your query letter into a blank Gmail email. That you don't put in an email address, and you format it the way you want, and then copy and paste it from that email instead of from that Word document. As far as etiquette goes, you can send a follow-up email and say, the formatting got a little wonky, but I'm certainly not going to pass on a client because she didn't, double space between paragraphs.
Honestly, if someone sent a follow-up email like that, I'd probably just be like, I probably wouldn't bother to find the email that goes with it. I'd just be like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to read it anyway.
Yeah.
I like to put things in Gmail, put it into plain text, so it gets rid of all the formatting, and then put it back into rich text and add stuff back in. For some reason, that seems to avoid trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with Jessica and Rosie that, I'm not going to delete someone out of my query inbox right away just because of how it looks. I mean, it definitely is daunting when you open an email and it's like crazy formatting. I'm going to look at it a little bit, but definitely if that happened and then someone sent me a follow-up email being like, I sent this earlier and it looked terrible, so here it is again, I would definitely look at it again. And the tips that you guys gave out, that's formatting tips I didn't even know, so thank you.
That's what we are, a PSA.
We're totally tech support. I can't even tell you how many calls I got this week that were like, I can't use my email. I don't understand.
Email is hard. Can I send it by Flare or by Morse code?
I want a pigeon. If someone sends me a query by pigeon, I think that's an automatic awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I might not sign you, but you get 1,000 life.
Oh, I'll sign the pigeon.
You are going to have so damn many pigeons at your office now. So many pigeons. That's an actual thing that's going to happen to you.
It's totally going to happen, and she's going to have to get a
Oh no!
all the pigeons.
Well, all these birds land on the air conditioner, and so I'll hear this weird click, click.
Oh god!
You're so gonna get a friggin' query squirrel running across the air conditioner, scratching on the. I can't. Oh my god. Okay, seriously, 10 points to Gryffindor for whoever sends the first query squirrel. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Question from Twitter.
A query squirrel to my office. I don't go there every day.
Oh no, it's gonna starve.
So send the squirrel with a tiny bag of nuts.
Give it a little backpack of snacks.
Yeah, definitely give it
definitely. Attach nuts to his leg.
Oh my god, I can't handle this.
Yes, Monica.
God. Oh god, what have we done?
Like a little Dora the Explorer backpack.
That's it. Good night, everybody.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay, a question from Twitter from Crystal Lee. Oh god, I'm sorry, I keep having this scroll with the backpack, I can't. Excuse me, from Crystal Lee. Is it worth mentioning in the query to agents that you have worked with a paid editor on your manuscript?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't really care.
I think it's an added bonus. It's certainly not required. No one should feel like they have to pay someone to. But any extra set of eyes is good.
Yeah.
Right, I think it's good to know, but yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah, but it's also not going to make me excited, like, oh, they work with a paid editor, I'm going to sign them. It's really going to come down to the work, and depending on if you feel you need that outside eye before you send it.
Okay, that sounded pretty straightforward. Let's move on then. We have a question. Unless there's any differing answers, we can move forward. There's a question from Lisa, and she would like to know, what is the #1 job that a first chapter or even a first page must do?
Make me want to keep reading.
Yeah, be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, in that first page, you're really reading for voice, I think.
Voice.
Does there need to be some sort of twist? Does something unexpected need to happen? Are there any other rules?
I just need to care.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you go to a bookstore and you open the first page, you know, you want to keep reading or you don't.
Yeah, Monica, do you think there's anything specific that you look for, like voice or setting or character?
I was going to say I definitely look for voice immediately, but it's always nice if there's like a nice setting, you know, idea if it's in the first like couple of pages.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm big on setting and just, you know, the sense of the world and everything. I don't know though. I feel like everyone gets so wrapped up in like the first page and everything.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I'd really like to know from the authors on the panel, you know, what do you go back to the beginning after you write the end?
I think, you know, it depends. Like, there's a lot of pressure on first pages right now, particularly because there's a big emphasis on contests that really focus on those first few pages, and I think that sometimes writers fall into the trap. I know that I did, where my first, 20 pages or whatever were way better than, page 60 or page 87 or page 112. And it's because it gets so much more attention. So I think that just finding that thing that is a spark from the beginning and carrying that all the way through, like that's always my sort of first goal.
Kelsey, actually, I disagree. I think your page 60 and page random everything was great.
Aww. I'm blushing!
Okay. Further proof that you cannot evaluate your own work objectively. No one can.
Very true. Very true.
Oh, see,
I would say in children's books, I would like to see a conflict, maybe not the huge conflict, but some sort of conflict in the first chapter. And I think in the adult book, you have a little bit longer, and I would say within the first 3 chapters. Because as much as I love characters, I want them to be doing something. And like, why are we following them at this point in their life? And I think it has to come really quickly in a children's book. But other than, I agree with Monica as well. Setting is a big thing for me, especially, I don't remember, Monica, if you read sci-fi and fantasy, but I do. Those are 2 things for me. And you can get real lost real fast in either too much or too little setting.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I had a thought and it left.
Oh no!
It flew away with the pigeon.
The freaking squirrel ran off with it. Is what happened.
Freaking.
Okay. No, now I remember. Okay. It kind of goes along with what you're saying, like how we want to care and everything. But I also like the first paragraph or the first page. I want to know that this is like a specific character in a specific situation in a specific place, and not just this like generalized sweeping thing. You know, I want to know that this is like distinct.
Yeah, try not to start your book in a way that could start anyone else's book.
Right.
I can't even tell you how many I get that it's like, oh, character wakes up, character gets in the shower, character gets dressed, character goes about their day.
Yeah.
Asked about like the author.
No, not again.
I saw something on Twitter.
I used to not care very much about how the chapters went. I'm like, oh, I'll go back and fix it later. But I've honestly gotten, just from hearing information like that about how important the first chapter is, how important the first line is, unless I know that my first chapter is just so spot, I can't do the book. Like, unless I know that it is just the way it's going to be, I cannot do the book. I have to have the tone. I have to have the voice of the characters. I have to have it perfect. And I will scrap the book over and over and over again until I get that first chapter right. And I literally cannot continue to write the rest of the book until I've got it exactly the way it needs to be. because of that. Because I'm like, it needs to be right. Otherwise, it's like you're playing the piano, and if you get one note wrong, you're going to play the rest of the song off just a little bit until you stop and get it right. So to get the voice and the tone, everything the way it needs to be, I got to get that first chapter right.
Summer, you have the card I sent you. I just saw it behind.
I do. I collect owls. I don't know if you know that, but like owls are totally my thing, and
I just love that owl. That owl's awesome.
Yes, that owl is awesome.
This is like the Jessica Christmas card special.
Oh my gosh, you have it too. You guys, I'm obsessed with stationery.
We know.
Oh my god, I can't even stop. I've been printing so many cards for people. It's terrible. I go to CVS and pick up this whole order, and they're like, "You again."
Just for anybody who is holding over, like on the edge of their seat from the last episode, that came with the cookies that she sent me. I gave her my address because I trust her as a person. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I trust Jess as a person.
Yeah.
Well, you're
I don't trust me as a
sitting
person.
I trust you
on
as a
her, so-
person.
Jessica trusts me as a person.
I do.
I don't trust me as a person.
Again, can't objectively judge your handwriting, can't objectively judge yourself.
Can't objectively.
True
judge
story.
yourself.
So true.
Monica's like, I never want to meet these crazy girls in person.
Monica's like,
Have you guys not met in person? Like, does that really not happen? You guys know each other
I've
in
never
person.
met Monica in person.
No, we haven't.
Really?
this needs to
Can we
happen.
arrange a meetup, please?
Absolutely.
This is outrageous.
Monica, I don't know if you saw this, but we're both going to PNWA in July.
So am I.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Oh my goodness.
That just made
Party
my-
flight.
Party flight. Party flight.
Spit water on my laptop. Who made that noise? Oh my god.
That is very attractive, Summer.
Somebody just sounded like they were dying. Like actually having the like Dementor's kiss suck the life right out of the excitement. Oh my god. Like I
Really, I'm
feel
so
like
excited.
on my floor. Thank you for that.
You're
Anyway,
welcome.
I'll probably take questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
you-
yeah,
that was beautiful.
Now that
Well, you
everyone
can
knows,
I have a quick question. Okay.
Anyway.
This is from Megan, and she wants to know if an agent doesn't request at a conference, is that a definite pass, or should the writer still feel free to query?
Depends how much you talk about it.
Depends on if you're in a pitch session.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monica?
I think that if the question asks if you don't request it, that means that it was presented to you in some way. So if it was personally presented to you and you made a pass during a pitch session, would there be any reason for that author to still send a formal query?
I think if it's in a pitch session, no. But if you're just at a cocktail hour and you're like, hey, I've got this book about this thing, and then I might just get distracted.
Totally.
In that case, yeah, send it.
Yeah. Often at conferences, I will invite people to query me because I want to see the pages, but it's not like a full request. So in that case, yes, please do query.
Yeah, live pitching is just so weird. I mean, the people who can talk well are almost never the people who can write well.
Yeah.
And there have been so many times where I'm like, yes, I can't wait to see that. And like, you know, I have my little secret system so I can tell how excited I was at the time when it comes in, not telling any of you. Anyway, so and then it never matches up. It's just, I would much rather sit there and be like, okay, here's how to fix your query, versus like, yes, I want this. No, I don't want this. Which is why we're doing those query critique things instead of just pitching. Yeah, it's all on one piece of paper. I need to tear it up so we can draw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I agree. If it's a pitch session and I pass, I probably don't want to see it again. But you know, if we're talking somewhere else and you're telling me about it and I just get you know pulled away somewhere else, I would totally like to see it. And I also like to tell people that I see at writers' conferences to query me, because I also like to sit with the pages separate from the hustle and bustle of everything that's going on and all the other pitches and everything, because I might be in a different mindset. So I always like to.
Yeah, conferences are pretty overwhelming for us.
Yeah.
So you can't really expect us to be 100% present at all times when we're there, because there's so much dividing our attention.
Yes. Yes, conference people, conference organizers, our own clients, on email, on our calls, etc.
Oh yeah, life does not stop for anything, let alone conferences.
And I'm sure Jessica and Monica feel the same way, but I get nervous soap before teaching a class or, before a presentation or a panel. And so, like, I'm psyching myself up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're coming up to me while I'm trying to psych myself, I'll be like, yeah, sure, okay, whatever.
No, it's not a good time.
I'm very determined to bring all of you out for Midwest Riders next year since we're planning to have Jessica out. And then we could do like a live Pub Talk TV and get Kelsey to come out too.
Oh my god.
Don't make me shriek again.
Yeah.
What?
Don't make me shriek like a Dementor again.
Oh god, that was amazing. It was beautiful. I was so proud. No, I'm like, this is a thing. But you know, we'd take such good care of you, and you wouldn't have to panic, and I'd like pat your head, and you wouldn't have to be all stressed. That's all I can think. I'm like, we'd take such good care of you. Anyway. There's a good question from Twitter. Some agency interns offer critique services. What do you think of these? Are they worthwhile? Depends. Any advice on that?
Oh, I haven't heard about that.
Agency interns offering critiques.
Oh, yeah, I see those all the time advertised on Twitter. No?
I don't know.
Are they paid critiques? Or just like part of a contest?
Sometimes they're paid. Sometimes they're offering editorial services. Sometimes they're doing... Am I the only one who sees these, really?
No, I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, like...
Wait, Monica, have you seen
I'm
these?
clearly not the cool kid on Twitter that knows about these things.
Not the cool kid.
And the critiques are by interns?
Yeah.
Yes.
That doesn't seem... I don't know. I have not seen it.
They're not always paid, but every once in a while there's somebody who, like, as part of their services that they provide as a freelance reader,
Editorial
they
person.
might have a, price point for their expertise. As someone who has worked right alongside, hypothetically, agents in an agency.
I mean, putting aside the whole issue of whether it's paid or free or whatever, like, I'm not even going to touch that because I'm going to have to think about that for a while to know how I feel about that. But my interns are frankly geniuses, so if that's a good metric for how smart the other interns are, they're probably pretty smart. I don't know how
smart is the issue.
Well, but there's that certain talent, of like knowing what works and how to fix it. That takes time.
It takes time, and I think it also depends on if they're critiquing the work or critiquing, like, would someone want this? Is it sellable?
Right.
If it's just purely like a line edit or, like something like that, maybe.
I don't know.
I understand that they're building their freelance portfolio.
Mm-hmm. I understand they have to pay rent too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But also, like, it just
I feel weird about agencies charging. I don't know.
No, I think it's separate. Like, they're a person
they're not the agency.
Editorial services.
Right. I thought it was like interns at an agency doing it. I was like, that doesn't seem right. But
no, I don't think that's anything to do with the agency.
If we're doing it freelance-wise, I mean, I feel like it's the same thing as when you have a really exciting manuscript in-house and you grab an intern and you're like, I need a second read on this. It's kind of, I feel like it's a service that should provide the same thing for writers, if they just need a second read, but not necessarily like strict editorial guidelines, like, edits.
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
And she says she was talking about paid services, FYI.
Oh. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. Why don't we all think about that?
Yeah,
and then...
Can we come back to that in the next
Pub
Talk TV?
Next time on Pub Talk TV.
Yes, on a very special Pub Talk TV.
Where we talk.
Okay, this is another question from Twitter. By the way, don't forget that if you're watching live and you have a question for any of the agents, you can always ask that live on Twitter at our hashtag AskPubTalkTV. And if you're just talking about the show, you can use hashtag PubTalkTV. And I know Summer is watching that like a hawk.
Yes, ma'am.
This is an older question, and it wants to know...
I want to know what kind of treats Veronica's passing out right now.
Oh.
Does anyone know what the current treat is?
I'm on it. You guys go ahead. I will scroll. Right now we're talking about your Christmas cards and like...
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so this next question is, Monica, maybe we could start on your end. What are some of the more untraditional ways that you have signed a client or that you might sign a client? I guess it just means not slush.
I reach out to people like crazy. Jessica, I think I know you do that too. And I really like doing that. And that's why I tell people to like blog and tweet and do stuff because like, how else am I supposed to find you? I don't know. I think it's fun that there are other ways for us to connect with writers other than Slush now, because Slush can feel so just deadening sometimes. I love you, all you writers, but I think if you knew what it was like on the other end, to see, you know, your email in with like hundreds of others and know that you're like up against that, it feels, you know, it could feel a little crazy. So passing on.
Sometimes I really wish I could have someone like come to the office and look over my shoulder for the day, because like I feel like our experience is so, I mean, we can tell you what's busy, we can tell you that there's crazy stuff happening all the time, but like if you could just follow me around and watch me like on my phone all day and like freaking out all the time, I think you would like be like, oh, okay, you know, this really isn't personal, you know, like it, oh my gosh, like just no. And it's a constant like there's some movie that I watched on a plane recently, because that's where I watch dumb movies, where it's like you can see what is on everyone's screen and it's following them around, and I just feel like I have this giant like cloud of that that's like shooting lightning bolts at me all the time.
I think that doesn't sound terrifying.
I can't open the flask.
You and this flask. Somebody said bang it on the table. Somebody suggested that.
Oh yeah, like a jar of spaghetti sauce. It's like it doesn't have very deep.
The like
roots.
twist thing won't twist.
Oh my god, that's not even fair.
No.
I keep wanting to ask this question, that I keep getting sidetracked, and I've lost it again. Wait, no, I've got it. Okay. This is actually this is from, I'm gonna say Tanya Tomlin. If I butchered your name, I'm so very sorry. It says, I don't have any publishing credits, and some agents request a bio when you query. I think most agents request a bio when you query. What do I tell them? I'm writing fiction. I'm going to add something personal onto that, too, because when I first queried, I was like, hi, I write things, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, and that's really all I've got to tell you. And it looked really sad. So what do people...
Summer?
What?
Is Summer frozen?
Am I dead? Did I really die?
No, I don't.
You're not dead. We can hear you.
Just for a sec.
Oh.
Just rewind your mouse a second.
You're good. You're good.
Oh, okay, sorry. No, where did you lose me? Did you hear the question?
You were a stay-at-home mom, and your bio looked really sad.
That's not sad.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
What's real life?
Okay, but so how... I lost the question. See, this is the problem with having the memory of a goldfish right now. Man. Anyway, so yeah, what do you put in the bio?
I mean, for me, I think it's just I want to see if it's someone I want to work with. You know, if you can characterize yourself in a clever way in a line or two when you're writing fiction, that's all I really care about, you know?
Yeah. You just say, you know, my name is blank, I live blank, something about your life. I work in IT, I'm a superhero at night, blah, blah, blah.
I like bagels. I don't
like
even
bagels.
care. Yeah.
Bagels are great. I love bagels.
Bagels are nice.
This is my first novel. Something like
It's about bagels.
Like, I really hope your first novel is about bagels.
Yeah.
And, you know, it doesn't have to be complicated or souped up. It doesn't have to be, you don't need a hype man to, like,
so you're saying
write your
make
bio.
sure
You know?
your personality in it, but without going overboard to try to fake a personality in it?
Yeah. Like everything in a
Yeah.
query, it should be authentic and it should be writerly. Show us that you are authentic and writerly and not evil, and this is a good combination.
Show that you're fun and professional.
Yeah.
Or deliver it by squirrel and none of the rest of it matters.
And it speaks for itself.
I'm going to be, like, eyeing all the squirrels tomorrow and be like, what are you?
I'm so sorry in advance for that. All right. Kelsey.
Okay, so there are several questions that are kind of all related to timing, so I'm going to just sort of ask them in a general way, and you guys can chime in on different aspects of timing. We've got questions about how long once an agent requests your full that you should wait, and how long it should take if a person has had your full for more than 12 weeks and you've already nudged once and you haven't heard anything. And there's lots of questions about timing. So other than the fact that we know that agency guidelines vary and often that is easily accessible on the agency websites, are there any other tips that we should be aware of when it comes to timing our nudges?
Monica, what are your guidelines?
I like to get, you know, if I've requested a full, I like to get, you know, a full response back within like 6 to 8 weeks max. Obviously, things happen, and, you know, I do other stuff for the agency, so people got to prioritize. But obviously, the thing is, if it's really good, I read it right away. That's the bottom line. Like, if it's really good, I'll rate it in 2 days. So I just, write the thing that's real good, and I'll read it right away. But, if it's been, there are times when I go on manuscript request sprees, and then it's just like, oh my God, I have all these manuscripts, I love them all, but I need to read them. And, then you have to prioritize within that pile. And it doesn't mean that I've forgotten about you. Like, trust me, your email string is still in my inbox, but I'm going to get to you, but, it's going to take time. So just keep bothering me. That's what I would say. Like, not like in a, not every day, not maybe like every couple weeks. Be like, hey, just checking in, and I'll be honest with you. As long as you don't threaten to kill me.
No. Yeah, as long as you don't go crazy.
Maybe don't lead with the death threats, people.
I actually got a query. No, I got a query where the first line was like, I will kill anyone who does not read my book.
I saw that.
Oh my God. This is why you don't write a query in the first person, because if your character is a creepy serial killer, I'm going to be afraid for my life, and I'm going to report you to the FBI, and that for real will happen.
There is actually like a special guy at the FBI for agents.
Maybe.
Well, like I'm sure he does other stuff too, but like
there's a guy. Oh, totally.
There's a guy. If anyone ever needs that who's an agent, by the way, we got this.
That makes me so sad that that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, don't be the people that needs the guy. I'm just makes Busy sad.
I know.
Going back to timing, I am not nearly as organized as Monica
No.
is. I know I'm at December 1st with my queries. I'm really far back with my manuscripts. So for me, I actually posted like a check-in form that you can use, and like I swear if you use this check-in form, it's fine. I think you can see under my Twitter bio there's a little link, and I'm pretty sure it's in there. But yeah, I mean, I know people stress about what to say. Just use this thing, and it'll be good. Instead of like, some people are like, what are you doing? Your time management is terrible. And then I'm like, ugh. So other than that, yes. Sorry, I'm so aggressive today, you guys. I need to like take kickboxing or something.
It's because
oh my God, yeah, you're a total beast. You're like, I'm so sorry. Calm the hell down, Jessica.
Look out! Me and my elderflower soda are coming to get you.
Oh yeah,
you guys open your class.
I'm sure you'd be just fine.
Wait, did I say me and?
So aggressive. It's so cute. It's like a bunny with a switchblade.
Oh my God. The first person who can illustrate a bunny with a switchblade
Points.
Or a query squirrel. That is a challenge.
This is already happening.
We put this together.
Dad has already laughed at the fact that you think this isn't a thing that's going to be in your life starting tomorrow. Query squirrels are going to be a thing.
God.
Can we all just agree that whoever gets one first, like, has to tweet about it and show a picture?
Absolutely.
Please, and tag, just make it happen.
Squirrel.
I really
Hashtag, yes. What about timing for you?
Oh, timing for me, I'm very far behind. Especially, like, I get a group from conferences and things like that, and, it takes me a while to get. I do, however, read every query. I read every full manuscript.
Kitty.
And I read queries within 8 weeks to request. Fulls take a little bit longer, but I will respond to every full that I receive. So, I really don't mind an occasional check-in. I am really hoping once I catch up that I will be able to respond when people send their full. So, like, I request, and then they send their full, and then I send an email back saying, yes, I got it. You're a lovely unicorn. But I'm just not at that stage yet. So, I'll let the Twitterverse know when I'm at that stage.
Summer, can your cat come to MWA?
This is Tenant, by the way. This is the mighty Tenant.
He's pretty.
He's smushy-footing my hand. I don't know if you can see. Anyway. Here we go. I love how you all went quiet. This is awesome. That's cool. Mesmerized by the kitty. You're a star, Tenant. Anyway.
I don't know what's happening. I'll just go ahead and ask another question.
I can't even see you guys. I have the tab up. Sorry.
No, it's fine. You have a cat in your lap. I mean, the priorities. Okay, this is a good one. It's from our Ask PubTalkTV hashtag, and Anne has the question, what are the dream manuscripts that you want to see in the new year? Jessica, this is a great time to plug manuscript wish list.
Yes.
Yes.
We need to set our next date. It will be sometime in February, and we will figure that out. KK and I will talk about that. So yes, soon.
Absolutely.
But should all of you not have, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, hashtag MSWL, that is hashtag for manuscript wish list. You can also go to manuscriptwishlist.com and see what people are wishing they had in their inboxes. And if you'd like to nudge any agents or editors for me that are not on that page, please feel free. But what would I like to have? I mean, personally, I had a fantastic editor lunch recently, and she talked about pop anthropology, and I'm like, yes, this is what I want. Like books like Quiet, The Power of Introverts. You all know I love this book, Life Changer. I send it out to people as propaganda. There's that one. There's
Overwhelmed.
Oh yeah, Overwhelmed is so good. Love, Work, and Play When Nobody Has the Time. Maybe some other order to those. And The Power of Habit. Books like that. I really love books that are, you know, this combination of where we are now as humans, the science behind how that happened, and what we can do to just live better.
I love how passionate you are when you're talking about that. That's awesome.
Thanks.
I like passionate people. What's up?
I like passionate cats.
Yeah.
Rosie, is there anything specific you're looking for this year that's different that you might be able to mention in a soundbite?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm still looking for that really great heist story, either middle grade or YA or adult.
Oh, where'd they go?
Uh-oh.
And had a great sense of character, but also of the heist itself, which I think is a great combination. I also love books like Jess was describing. I also love books that really embody an entrepreneurial spirit. I love Chris Gillibo and his books, The Art of Nonconformity, The $100 Startup, and I'm reading right now The Happiness of Pursuit. And I also love books that have a new take on a very familiar theme, and YA and middle grade of all genres. I actually had a really good middle grade year last year, so I actually have more middle grade clients than YA, but keep both of them coming. I love strong middle grade and YA that is sort of pushing the genre into well, now, 2016 and 2017.
God, I'm not ready. Okay.
Hey, Monica, there's been a specific question about whether or not you represent YA, so if you would answer that question and also let us know if there's any specific manuscripts you're excited for that would get, you know, two birds, one stone kind of thing.
Okay. So I haven't made a full decision about YA. So that is probably the thing. And I think agents kind of have more flexibility than, like, you know, editors and stuff like that. But it is, you know, my concern. I love YA, but my boss, Liza, has always taught me to kind of, you know, represent what you know. And I feel like I don't know YA. Like, I feel like there are other agents that just know it just so well, like what it's supposed to be, and just, you know, and it's not that I'm not going to be passionate about it, but I just want to be able to bring everything to it. And so, I mean, I don't want to say that my problem is that I don't want to say I'm close to YA. That's my problem. So I'm not close to YA. But, and as far as what I'm looking for, really, I mean, I'll plug the We Need Diverse Books hashtag. We need diverse
Thank
books.
you, Monica.
Books by women, books by people. I mean, just stories we haven't heard before, basically because no one has cared, and now we do because we've been reminded that we care, almost, you know. And
The mainstream has been reminded that we should care.
Yeah.
Right.
There have been people who support those books.
Right. And
you're right.
You know, we've seen a lot happen in just the last few months with how, you know, even the fact that like the word diverse and diversity has become like something that means nothing now. We like almost need a new word for it because it's bleh, but it's so true. And I think diversity doesn't just mean, you know, that you're a woman or that like you're black or whatever. It means that, you know, you have a different perspective that is not usually represented. And I think now is a really good time for, you know, people to share their stories. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, both in fiction and nonfiction. So like, you know, memoir, anything fun. Next question.
Summer, do you have a question?
I do. I actually like this one. Not that I didn't like all the other ones, but I just happen to really like this one too. From Ted Fox. In a query, if someone has referred you to that agent, what's the best way to incorporate that into the letter?
I like it in the first line.
Yeah. My friend Bill Clinton said that you would be an excellent agent for this book.
Oh, the reference. Yeah, I would totally leave with that.
Yeah. It's the awkward thing though comes when someone that I don't know is referring the author.
Oh yeah, that does happen.
So like I don't know whether the author like made them up or like, you know, worked with them and then said you should go find an agent, and so he's referring that person to all agents. Or, like, I just don't
that's
know.
true. That
Like,
does
if
happen
I don't
sometimes.
know the person who's referring you, it's like not helping you in the way that
I don't
you
think
want.
it's hurting you either, because you don't necessarily know how well we know the person who, you know, a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, totally friends, you know. Yeah, just say it in the first line. I think it's polite. It's like an introduction. Kind of like when you meet someone you want to say, and you've met them before, it's always nice to be like, oh, hi, I met you with this thing, to remind them.
Right, or like, hi, I'm Roseanne, I'm with Jennifer DiChiara.
Yeah,
you know,
little
like,
introduction.
Oh, you don't know me, but you might know Jennifer.
Context.
You might know some, yeah. It's, ooh, I like that.
I like context.
And for what it's worth, if it's a client that's making a referral, I don't know many of my fellow writers who make referrals that don't also communicate with their agents. Hey, heads up, someone that I know is sending something over. So you, as the writer who's being referred, you don't need to be afraid of mentioning it or of saying it in a weird way. Like most of the time, I think that if you're being truly referred by a client to their agent, they're going to have had a conversation anyway that just says, you know, hey, keep a heads up for my friend's stuff. So I feel like it's really not a super scary thing as long as everybody's being open and honest about the nature of all the relationships and the nature of the referral.
Well, I think that's true of everything. Just be open and honest and communicate.
Yeah, like, you know, dear Roseanne, my dominatrix referred me to you. And I'm like, I don't know your dominatrix.
Oh, don't lie.
What's the nature of your relationship?
Which,
So, you know.
I hope Mina.
Was that not PG-13?
I hope Mina Vaughn is watching right now.
I know.
And if she's not, she's like sitting at home and she suddenly just went, something good is happening in the world.
Yeah. Somewhere on the internet calling my name.
Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and ask another question. We're at right about 15 minutes to the end of this particular episode, and we have a couple of questions that are actually really great because they're sort of post-querying phase, and it's often just really not discussed. Writers that get an agent, they sign, and then a lot of the times they're afraid and they're like deer in headlights and they don't know what to do. So I think it's very cool that we have a couple of questions that are sort of post-signing questions.
Mm-hmm.
This one is from someone named Sam, and they want to know, being in love with a manuscript is not necessarily the same as being able to sell it, and you know, what makes you feel like confident enough that you can actually sell something that you sign. And then this other one says, this is by, let's see, M. Telsh Williams, and they would like to know, are there any specific expectations on your new clients for turnaround time for projects when you're working on revisions before you go on sub?
I think both of those are very good questions.
Yeah. But there's also not one set answer.
Right.
It's different every time. I mean, it's always a balance of how much time do we have, how much do we love it, how much work does it need, how, you know.
How much work does it need? Does it need 1 month of revisions? Does it need several? Does it is it really going to depend on the revisions itself?
Yeah, is it cleaning
long
up
it
dialogue?
takes,
Is
yeah.
it changing a major plot point?
Yeah.
It completely depends. Monica, what do you think?
The turnaround time between, me taking the full and having revisions for someone, that's the question, right? The turnaround time.
I think it's
for
also
someone that you've signed.
Signing the client and being ready for submission.
Well, and how fast should they get back to you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
After you offer them representation?
No, like you
Yeah.
give them revisions, how fast do they have to do it?
I don't want people to rush, ever.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, don't rush. You have all the time in the world, I feel like. I mean, unless there's like a specific reason where I'm like, you have to get this out in the next year because blah, 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 holiday. But, I just think it's like revisions are important. And, especially if I took time to, revise it for you, I wanted to spend time, because a lot of revising is like sitting with the revisions and thinking about it before you even start writing. So it's like, I don't want to hear from you for at least 2 weeks to a month. Like, stop, don't talk to me. Go write. Don't freak out. And then, what was the first question about salability? I think a lot has to do with like the initial query letter to me. Like, if you sell me, I feel confident that I can sell the same story to someone else. And usually what happens is I'll get a query that's like amazing, and because of how good the pitch was, I find myself like texting my friend about it. And if I can like excitedly like text her the pitch really quick, and I get a response from her, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is good. People love it. Everyone loves it. It's good. So not that my friend is the only barometer for sellability. But yeah, I think selling me in the query letter helps me decide if I'm going to be able to sell it to someone else.
I think it also, it's really good if I find myself talking about it. That's always a really good sign. And if I'm reading it and I'm thinking, oh, this person would love it, this person would love it, that's always really nice as well. One thing that actually is really frustrating for me is when people get their revisions back to me too fast. And it's like, I want you to be thorough. I want you to think about this. And, it's also kind of like, okay, well, you turned that around in 2 hours. I'm probably just going to have to read it again and tell you to do a lot of the same things again, only more so. So, like, take time. Like, if sending something out before it's ready really is a waste of time for everybody, because you really pretty much just get one chance with each of those editors, and you might as well make sure that it's ready. And they're not going to read it right away. Are you kidding? They're going to take weeks too. Here, I'm adjusting the table so we can plug ourselves in. Are we close enough? Are we here? Yeah. We got the power?
Nice.
We're coming back. All right. Rosie's coming back.
I like when Rosie comes back. I miss her when she's gone. Somebody from Twitter wants to know if you guys are going to be participating in any contests this year, like Pitch Madness, for example.
Yeah.
What? Supporting the
Are we doing contests?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
we will. I don't know which ones yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
I just couldn't shit out of my cat.
Let's see. Okay, this is a good one. So it's pretty common that the dating analogy gets thrown around between agents and authors because of the nature of the relationship, I guess. And this, Georgia would like to know, does the dating analogy continue when an agent approaches a publisher? Does it still feel kind of datey, or is it a different type of relationship?
Well, it's kind of like, I mean, since it's going to Ed Board as well, it's sort of like, hi, come out with me on a date and meet all my friends, and we will decide if you're cool. And my family, and we'll decide.
Yeah.
So it's like 19 kids and counting dating or something. Courting. That's what it is, courting.
I think less, but it's also the relationship analogy also figures into the client-agent relationship because you're hopefully going to be working together for a long time and over several books. And depending on what you write, you might write in more than one genre, and so you might have more than one editor. And it's not like you're cheating on your other editor with your new YA editor. It's just
you can have it.
Yeah. However, that like the middle of the wheel is your agent. And I think that's where the dating analogy comes in, is like you fall in love and you're together and you're in it together, and then you like set forth on this journey together.
Though that editor does have to love it before they take it to headboard, so I guess it is
Absolutely.
a little bit.
I think, yeah, I think a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like your analogy, how it's like, you have to meet, like, your friends and family have to decide if you're cool. It's so true. And it's likely, like, that their dad's just not going to like you. And anything you have to say. And they're just never going to talk to you again.
I have this mental picture of the agent and the author bringing in their book baby and being like, what do you think of our baby? And the ed board being like, oh, it's cute. It's cute. It's a cute baby. Because, like, sometimes not so cute.
No. I don't want
Cute,
it.
but we wouldn't pay for it.
Yeah, we wouldn't pay for it.
So if anybody has ever had any like in-law problems or dating problems or anything or whatever, they're just sitting here like me going, this is great, I'm gonna die alone. Totally fine. This is cool. I kind of wish I was drinking something other than water right now. This is fine.
But you
So
said it was
fine.
such a good vintage.
So fun.
It's bottled.
Frickin'
Such a good vintage.
Awesome.
Did you inhale the bouquet?
I did. And then I accidentally spit it on the floor when Monica went all demented again. Seriously, there's a little puddle down there. It's really awesome.
Send me a bill. Sorry. Don't really send me a bill.
I'm just glad there wasn't a cat or something down there.
Do we have time
Believe
for
me,
more?
there have been worse things on.
Yes, and we've got to announce the winners for the Skype curriculum as well. Should we do that right now, or should we do
have
that?
that?
Yeah. I've got a list.
Isn't it
I wrote out
creativity?
everyone's name, and I'm just gonna go like with my eyes closed.
Okay, so why don't you go pick winners, and we can ask a couple other simple questions.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a straightforward one from Nicole. It says that my Twitter handle is the name of my blog, but now that I'm published in other places and hoping to snag an agent, I wonder if I should change the handle to be my name instead. So I guess this is the situation almost exactly like me and Summer, because our handles and our online identities are like nicknames. Like, I've been Kelsnut Chelsea since like 2001 online. And so for me to change it to Kelsey Mackey, not only is it not, available on Twitter, because I've never wanted to be Kelsey Mackey on Twitter, but is it that important that you have your name be your Twitter handle?
I think, Monica, you may or may not agree with me, but I'm going to speak anyway, because
Please.
I'm feeling very bossy at this moment. I think it really depends on if you're writing fiction or nonfiction. Because if you're writing nonfiction and you want to write more than one book, your brand should be you.
Totally.
But I think it can be really, look at myself. My Twitter handle is Riveting Rosie, partly because my name is almost very long.
And because you're riveting.
Because I'm riveting.
You are. I am riveted.
So, but that's sort of my Twitter persona. That's not the full banquet of who I am as a person or as an agent.
I want to go to the Rosie buffet.
A buffet.
God, I want
I want to go to the Rosie banquet real bad.
Oh, this is no $9.99 freaking buffet. This is not all you can eat. This is 6-course, hon. Hot towels.
Whatever. I'm in.
What?
But, that's a really good point. Like, when I signed up for Twitter as Fizzy Girl, it was just because it was my email address, and that's what it was. I didn't, make a conscious decision to be, I'm going to make a name for myself, and it's going to be Fizzy Girl. But now, when I meet people at conferences and stuff, they don't know that my name is Summer. People call me Fizzy Girl. It was an accident, but that's my name now. And I'm totally okay with it. I love when people call me Fizzy Girl. It's great. But, what do? Do you just roll with it from there, Just that's how it, and which is totally fine. Please don't stop calling me Fizzy Girl. It makes me feel precious.
I think if you have an author website where you have links to your Twitter, you know what I mean? And if someone Googles you, it's going to go to your author website in which your Twitter is linked, in which people are going to put it together. You know what I mean? As long as there aren't levels of barrier to figure out that Kelsnut Chelsea is, the same person as Kelsey, then people are going to figure it out and they're going to follow you, and they're also probably going to feel a little cool that they're like, I figured it out and I'm a real friend. I follow under her. But
You know what? I felt a little more strongly, and I think I'm going to side with Monica on that as well. That, like, as long as some part of your presence has your author name, you're okay. But I still believe in nonfiction if you're trying to develop a brand, if you know, my first example, I think, which I'm not even looking at Twitter, so I don't even know, but I believe that Deb Perlman is at Smitten Kitchen. Mm-hmm. So, you know, her blog is called Smitten Kitchen. Is everyone frozen or just
No, I think we're okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, her blog is Smitten Kitchen. That's what her book is called, but her name is Deb Perlman, and I think as long as there's some sort of continuity between the two, your handle does not necessarily have to match your name.
I literally just looked, and my name is actually on Twitter. My name is Summer, but my handle is Fizzy Girl. I never realized that before.
I just looked at the exact same thing. Yeah, I went ahead and looked at Google because I wanted Nicole to know that your handle can be your blog URL or whatever it is. Like
but you can change it to
but your name is there. And when I search Kelsey Mackey, I mean, the very front page, like this third result is my Twitter. So
yeah, I'm not Googling myself, and you can't make me.
I'll Google you all day.
That's what you said.
I did some stuff in college. I don't think anybody. You know, step away from the Google.
Okay. So are we ready?
Winners.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. So for Kelsey, the winner is, and I'm going to butcher this, so I'm just going to spell it. The Twitter handle is SZASTOUPIL. I know. For Summer, we've got Jody Vorwald.
Yay!
For Monica, we have Lily Mars.
Yay!
Hi, Lily.
For Rosie, we have, it looks like Emily Victoria. Yay, I'm going to look that up. And for me, Tanya Spencer. And for, I mean, is it okay with you guys if I just choose my favorite of the creative ones?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, there's this one that's like Ryan Gosling, and it says, "Hey girl, why don't we go over your query again? You know I always request a pool." So that is Tanya Tomlin, and so
Hey!
and we'll draw for who does that one later.
This is Tanya's next. I got a question.
Ryan Gosling always wins.
Yeah, that was I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Actually, when Ryan Gosling's involved, aren't we the real winners?
We all win.
So, yes, we all win.
So in case you missed those names, we'll be sure that the winners are posted on PubTalkTV.com very shortly, and I'm sure that Jessica will tweet out to all of the winners later this evening, if not tomorrow. And that way, if you missed that one time through of all of those names, you can see if you're one of the lucky winners of a query critique. And since we have a couple minutes left, we can just go ahead and mention what those query critique sessions could be like.
We just watch this episode over and over and over again.
And then play it backwards for a special message.
Yeah.
We will be, each of the 5 of us will be offering some insight into your query and giving you some extra tips about how it could be improved. If you are working with myself or Summer, or even if you're working with one of the agents, we will have a timed session with you that you can chat with us via Google Hangout or Skype, whatever works best for you and your technology. And if that's not accessible to you, we can also do it via email. So if you are one of the lucky winners, then be looking for an email or a tweet from one of us about how you can claim your prize.
And you can just choose to do email.
Oh no, she froze.
Yes, if you would like to just do it via email, that's totally fine. You don't have to do it on video.
Yeah, we totally do.
There you are. Sort of.
Are you attractive? What the hell?
Yeah, we're still here. My fat cheek.
Oh, God.
What just happened?
I don't know.
You have black and I hear my fat cheeks. That's all I got.
The picture of me was like, but it was like,
We're so
I can't even do it, but I like had such a fat cheek.
No, but those cheekbones though.
Yeah.
It was so sculpted, Rosie, I promise.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
It was very much like that. Like that. It was perfect. So that's 8 o'clock on the dot. I guess we should call it a night because the president needs to talk.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually excited, but I mean, it's a little nerdy that let's go listen to the president. It's okay.
And by
whatever.
nerdy, you mean super awesome.
Yeah, because real life is cool. I've heard.
I think you are very mistaken. We have very different definitions of cool.
I have heard that real life is very interesting. Okay, well, I guess that's all of us signing off. So on behalf of Rosie and Jessica and Monica and Summer and me, Kelsey, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.